Right now, as we speak, a whole new layer of the internet is being built. But here's the thing, it's not for you or me, it's for machines. And it is about to change commerce as we know it forever.
Just let that sink in for a moment. What if your next customer isn't human? We're not talking about some simple chatbot here. We're talking about fully autonomous AI agents, with the digital wallet and the authority to spend real money. And they're about to become the most important new customer you've ever had.
And the scale of this thing, it is absolutely staggering. Gartner is projecting that by 2028, a massive $15 trillion in B2B spending is going to flow through exchanges run entirely by AI agents. This isn't some niche market, folks. This is a fundamental rewiring of the global economy.
To put that into perspective, we're talking about 90% of all business-to-business buying being handled by AI agents in just a few years. Think about what that means. If an agent can't find and understand your product, you're essentially invisible to almost the entire B2G market. And this isn't some sci-fi future. These agents are already here. By the end of this year, it's expected that over 1 billion, that's billion with a B, AI agents will be up and running, making decisions, managing tasks, and most importantly, making purchases.
So how in the world do we make sense of this massive shift? Well, we're going to break it down. First, we'll get into what this parallel web actually is. Then we'll look at the incredible opportunity, a dangerous trust gap you absolutely have to avoid, the first 5 moves you should be making right now, and finally, what big trends to keep your eye on.
Okay, first things first, I really want to stress this. This is not a theory. This is not a prediction. The parallel web, this new internet for machines, is being built as we speak by the biggest names in finance. It's real infrastructure. And what's so fascinating here is you can see exactly who is building the rails for this new economy. Visa, Mastercard, Stripe, they are not running some small-time experiments. They've launched full-on production services. These are basically the new payment highways, the Visa and Mastercard networks for bots, that let an agent securely check out and pay for things all on its own. So, with that infrastructure falling into place, what does the opportunity actually look like? Well, we're talking about a modern-day gold rush. There is an almost unbelievable amount of value just sitting there, ready to be claimed.
I mean, just look at these numbers. That B2B opportunity at $15 trillion completely dwarfs the consumer markets. And why is that? It's simple, really. B2B procurement, things like restocking office supplies or sourcing standard parts, it's all routine, it's policy-driven, and it's repetitive. It is the absolute perfect job for an autonomous agent to do faster, cheaper, and way more efficiently than any human ever could.
But here's the big challenge. Agents need structured, machine-readable data. They don't read marketing copy. They query an API for pricing. They don't download a PDF of your terms. They need to parse that data from a feed. The problem is, most businesses today are built for human eyes, which makes them completely unreadable and therefore totally invisible to this new wave of AI buyers. And here's where things get a little scary. There's a critical problem brewing. This gold rush is happening so fast that the city is being built on some really shaky foundations. The trust, the security, the legal frameworks, they just aren't there yet. And that's creating what we call a trust gap.
This slide here shows problem number 1, identity. I mean, because of really insecure things like shared API keys, a shocking 72% of agent actions can't even be traced back to a specific human who authorized it. Just think about that. When an agent makes $1 million purchase, who's actually responsible? Right now, the answer is dangerously unclear.
And that identity crisis, it leads directly to a massive legal vacuum. We have no definitive court rulings on who's liable when an autonomous agent makes a really costly mistake. Can an agent even sign a legally binding contract? The truth is, the law just hasn't caught up to the technology, and that leaves businesses incredibly exposed.
So, given all these risks, you'd think leaders would be cautious, right? Well, they're not. A stunning 82% of executives are confident that their current human-focused policies are totally fine and will protect them from any unauthorized agent actions.
But here it is. Here's the brutal reality check. While 82% feel totally safe, a staggering 88% of those exact same organizations have already reported security incidents involving their agents. This is the executive perception gap, and it's where billions of dollars are going to be lost, not because the tech failed, but because of a false sense of security.
So now for the most important question.
How do you capture this $15 trillion opportunity without falling headfirst into that trust gap? It's not about stopping, it's about starting smart. Here is a clear 5-step blueprint to get you going.
This plan is really your foundation. You start small with low-risk pilots. Think office supply replenishment. You enforce really strict spending policies for your agents. You always keep a human in the loop for big financial or contractual decisions. And crucially, you start building those machine-readable interfaces and the identity infrastructure you'll need to manage your whole fleet of agents.
Okay, so once you have that foundation in place, what comes next? I mean, this landscape is changing by the day, so you have to keep your eyes open. Let's look at 3 critical trends that are going to define the next phase of this parallel web. First, keep an eye on payment protocols. Right now, it's a bit of a wild west, but they'll start to converge. Second, you can bet that Know Your Agent regulations are coming to solve that identity crisis. And third, and this might be the most important one for anyone selling anything, watch for your biggest B2B customers to start demanding that you be agent compatible. This is going to shift from a nice-to-have to a must-have overnight.
And this quote from AI strategist Thorsten Meyer just perfectly nails the key takeaway here. You know, the biggest risk you face is not getting in a little too early and making a few mistakes. No, the biggest, most expensive risk is waiting too long and being completely invisible to the single largest channel of commerce being built today.
So that's the question we'll leave you with. In this new era of the parallel web, your business can only be in one of 2 states. It's either machine-readable or it's invisible. If an AI agent can't discover, compare, and buy from you, you might as well not even exist.